I am not in favour of censorship. I'm not in favour of banning people from anything. I think people should make up their own minds. I think they should be informed, and I think we should have informed decisions. So I am distressed and concerned about the imprisonment of the fellow in Singapore, and he's been brought low. I mean, it's in the name. He's been brought low by breaching bail conditions and by the puritanical spirit that dominates Singaporean public society. Of course, it's also on record that Singapore has an incredibly high devotion to the OnlyFans product. And indeed, the fellow who's just been convicted had a very impressive following altogether. But it's a bit sad. Now, OnlyFans is a social media platform which gives the impression that it's sort of get-rich-quick opportunity for people who want to do that sort of thing, who want to promote themselves in that way. But it is basically a form of pornography. That word, really interesting word, graphos, meaning picture, porni actually, from the Greek word for prostitute. So it's in the title, it's in the word. And at what point does an image become pornography? I suppose in theory an image moves into pornography the moment money is involved. So, I suppose in principle, if you charge people to look at Renaissance paintings on the ceiling of a church, you are turning what might be a slightly titillating effort by Michelangelo into pornography. As long as you're charging for it, if the picture is slightly sensational, then it moves into the realm of pornography. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with Michelangelo ceilings, and I certainly don't think there's anything particularly wrong with Raphael ceilings and Rubens and so on, the great art. I also don't think there's a great problem with wonderful cinema, though some cinema has some very dodgy scenes in it. At what point does it become something I would recommend that people don't do? Well, first of all, I don't think the money for Wefans is as easy to make as some people suggest. Some people have been lucky or unlucky. And maybe I even know some people. I certainly don't have an OnlyFans account, and I don't think I've subscribed to one. I don't think I'd know how to do that. I don't think I'd want to do that. But, why would somebody want to turn themselves into an object, whether that's a sexual object or indeed just an object that's sort of hanging around? Why turn yourself, this sort of vibrant living being, into an object that can be switched on and switched off? I don't know. There's a cost always with becoming public property, with becoming somebody else's property, with being bought. There's a cost. And I'm afraid part of that cost is that one is open to all forms of sexual and personal harassment. One's laying oneself open to stalking, to future crises. If it's out there forever. And you don't know what you're going to be doing in the future. So here is something that is being put out which may well interfere with your future plans. And it can be found. So, just be really careful. More than that, I think it's something I think it's something that can change you. So I don't think pornography is a particularly good thing, but being involved in the heart of that industry is to be involved in the heart of something which is quintessentially exploitative. And if something is exploitative, then in the end it really is evil. And touching evil, as we see with the war, touching evil invites evil. It invites change. Believe me, no matter what you do, if you're involved in this sort of business, you will be changed by it. You will not be the same person. And you may justify what you do. You may believe that, this is your livelihood. This is what gives you your car and your house. But it's ensmeared in something which is ultimately exploitative. And you may say you don't mind yourself being exploited. That's fine. But you are involved in an industry that is exploiting others. Where do you draw the line? And I'm not really very sure. To be part of this industry is to be part of something which ultimately is a slippery slope into depravity, into the slavery, the end slavery of other people. And as I say, it can interfere with your ultimate goals. So it's a shortcut to wealth, and a shortcut to wealth is probably not something that is to be recommended. On the other hand, there is art in anything creative. If you're being creative, maybe there is something positive about it. Maybe you are contributing to a new art form. It's not an art form that I'm aware is recognized at the moment, but let's not dismiss the ephemeral, and let's not dismiss the popular simply because it's popular, and let's not be too busy, let's not be too quick to impose our moral standards on other people, because that's unfair. So I'm immensely sorry for the fellow who is going to prison today. He's only the second person, I believe, who's being imprisoned for being involved in OnlyFans, and it sends a signal that is an option. It sends a signal around the world. And there are some very, very nasty regimes which will take advantage of this prurient and moralistic initiative. I think on every level this is a day to be sorry.